tonight. I feel a little bit more refreshed than I did yesterday. So hopefully I'll get to make a little bit more progress on this than last night. Last night was a struggle bus, but I had fun. So yeah, I had fun. It was all good. Oh, so let's get everything set up here and post up. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can get this back over to where I need to. And live. Try to get this refreshed so I can get the chat going. So yesterday I just kind of blocked this in and add a little bit of color here, but that was about all I had the energy for, and it felt like I was running slow for sure. Let's see if I can get this live thing to show up. And so how's everybody been doing? What you're listening to? So I've kind of been going into a little bit of a flashback, so to speak, and I'll deal with that later. It's not working, so been going a little bit of flashback, more new territory, rediscover some stuff I've been listening to Janis Joplin and what is it? I can't. I have to go back to the YouTube just to see, not YouTube, the iTunes. Big Brother and the Holding Company, which was the backing band for Janis Joplin. And I just remember, it's like, man, this was such a good band, and they don't really, you don't really hear many people listening to it anymore, so to speak. Let me tilt this here a little. There. All right. So yeah, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, oh wow, it's interesting how some of these really good bands get lost, and how would you say, through the generations, so to speak. That was, I mean, the guitarists were amazing on there. And let's see here, what else is new? I hope everybody's doing good. I think I might just go for it and start adding some of the background so I can start putting some of the highlights. See if this starts to show up. Yeah, it's just not showing. Weird. Am I going live? It says I'm live. It's been live for 3 minutes, but for some reason I'm going to have to force quit YouTube and relaunch it. So the reason I'm going out, there you go. So yeah, for some reason, if I, there we go. If I pause the video on the YouTube app on my iPad, I can still see the chats. Whereas on the phone, if someone chats, it shows up, and by the time I read it, it fades out, which is a dumb thing. But, yeah. Anywho. Going to see about, I'm not sure what I want to do with this yet. See if I can do some damage, though, for sure. I'm going to need some more white up here. There's my trusty Permalba paint. Just got scrape a little bit of this off. There. So last night we were talking about television series and TV shows, and someone suggested Yellowstone. So I'm hoping to get into that at some point. At least check out an episode or two. I literally try not to get into these series because I know they will suck me in. I've almost purposely not done The Sopranos because I know that it's going to suck me in, and I'll never stop watching it till the end. And I already know how the end is. I've seen like clips, um, and they've talked about the ending with Tony Soprano and how it's supposed to go down. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't know if I have it in me to dedicate that time right now. A little bit of mix on this. There we go. All right. So, hope everybody's doing well, having fun. So I don't have anybody on live right now, so I'm probably not going to talk too much until somebody comes on. It's a Friday night. Nobody wants to be on. Everybody else is doing stuff. But I kind of thought, also, let me see if I can stick to this little nightly routine, or at least try to do most nights live somehow. So, yeah, just listening to Janice and the too much. Oh well, happy accidents. We'll see what happens. All right. Let's give me a little bit of tone to feel. Trying to at least get a little bit more. That's one thing I have to say. I've underestimated filberts for the longest time, but when I was at Easton, I got a filbert, and I was just like, wow, where have you been all my life? It's a really nice brush, and I always stuck with flats or rounds, and I never really got around to using a filbert till at that point. And I was like, wow, I really should be doing more work with filberts. Not exclusively, but the idea is, yeah, you get thin marks and you can get thick marks, and it's just a good way to block stuff in. been working on a digital portrait, and I still don't have. I think I'm getting near the end, but I still don't have it ready to show. So once I've given it out, then I'll post it up, the video time lapse of it. I think it came out pretty good so far. I know I've done pretty decent when my wife and daughter say, "Yep, that's pretty good, Dad." They're pretty good at judging. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I don't want to do this whole thing sky. That would be absolutely boring. Tremendously boring, but at least enough here. All right, let's switch it up. Try and use a big brush here to get some damage done that I just couldn't get done last session. I was just too tired out of it, wasn't really feeling it. So now I'm starting to feel a little bit of energy tonight. I got a nice little power nap earlier. Yeah, speaking of Janis Joplin and Big Brother and the what is it? Big Brother and the Corporation? No, the Big Brother and the holding company. The I was listening to Apple Music and it threw this in here randomly, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a great, great band and great guitarist. And I was like, how did I not really give this band enough attention when I was younger? I don't know. I had a photography teacher who was living in San Francisco, and he said he had stopped into a coffee shop and he had to stop what he was doing because he said this amazing voice. This girl was singing. He says, and he was like, people sung in the coffee shops back then. And this is like the early '90s when he was telling me about this. And he goes, and I said, people were singing in coffee shops, and he goes, I had to stop everything I was doing. And I was like, this beautiful voice. I mean, just amazing, powerful voice of this girl singing in the coffee shop. And he says he was just mesmerized and watched her whole set. And then he said, and then the next year, Janis Joplin arrived. So yeah, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Get to see Janis Joplin perform live at a coffee shop before she becomes famous. All too short, though. My mom and I were talking about her. My mom said that she had a rough go of it in Texas, where she came from. But when she made a point to go back and rub it in their faces, I guess. So, yeah. I wouldn't doubt her. People could be turds. I think I'm maybe a gray. Not sure. I think I may need to create a little bit of the color palette here a little bit. Oh man, I got some chunkies. Get rid of them. They just become problems later. No, need more white. I think I'm just gonna have to dump more white. He's gonna be using a lot of white tonight. There's more chunks. Let's get rid of that too. I'm still not quite used to painting on a vertical palette. I'm still used to looking down. So it's not I don't like it, it's just not used to it. So I definitely am not using I'm used to a mixing column. I wonder if I should start using this to mix, because this makes actually much more sense now. Yeah, I think this makes more I'm used to using flats like this. They're easy to store, but for this, I think actually this might be better because I can just the angle. Yeah, I think we'll do that. I'll set that aside down there. Just trying to get the adjustment there. All right, painting for no one. It's all right. Yeah, I don't know if I should, I thought about it. It's like, do I repackage these and post them up live? Or not post them up as episodes? I don't know. Because I'm not that entertaining. I'm not talking that much. But, I don't know. But I do like doing the live thing because I just show up and paint, turn this on, and I get painting done. I'm trying to do these plein air ones. I got to film, I got to make sure everything's there, try to get close-ups, B-roll, put it all together, spend time editing. I like the idea of just throwing the camera on and painting and then calling it a day. I might do time. I think maybe what I should I might try a time lapse. That might be the way to go. Now let's get the brayer out. So everybody keeps asking, what's the brayer? Well, this is my brayer, and this is where I do a lot of destroying and building, so also helps cover an area quickly. Gives nice texture as well, so I like that. Yeah. All right. Let's see how this goes. Yep. position this again. Oh no, it's just the mark. I keep thinking that this is getting cropped off. Is it? It's getting cropped off. Let me just put my brush there. Yeah, it is getting cropped off. I hate that. I like to see everything. So let's just make a little bit of an adjustment there. There we go. A little bit of adjustments. Nobody's watching anyway, so what do I care? Mm-hmm. Hmm. Let's step back and see where I'm at. I need some of that coffee. Mm. 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 All right, so we can get done on those hands. There we go. A little bit of mixing. Hmm. Yeah, I'm not getting the angle right on those. Hmm. All right, let's see here. One thing I noticed that speaking back on Big Brother and the holding company was that I forgot that R. Crumb had did the illustration for their first out for their album, which I thought was really cool. I'm not like a huge R. Crumb fan, but I definitely do like his style. And I loved what he did with American Splendor. Anybody seen the new Indiana Jones trailer? I have not watched it yet. I'm waiting. I'm waiting until everybody in the family is ready to go see it. I don't know why, but I've got to get this hand to fit right. Sometimes you just got to simplify the shapes to make sure first that you've got something working. See if I can get a highlight on there. Getting there. Not quite there yet, but I think I'm getting there. Hmm. Mm. Let's go and add some. Let's see where we've been in. How long have I been painting? I've been painting for 36 minutes. You know, dang it. I hate this. It's got that crap. Gotta start hanging my paints upside down to get that oil and crap to stop from dripping. Another reason to start using this little bit to kind of help mix it in. I'll probably do a little bit better there. There we go. All right. All right, let's see what we've got here. Try to get some gray patterns going on here. A little bit of brushes here and trying to get a little bit of. I like this blue right here, but I'm not sure how much more I can push it without losing harmony. I have to add some more white soon. How'd they get down there? And time to get a new paper towel. Oh, schmack. I knew I was going to do that. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Let's put that back. Get that back in the right position, I hope. Keep this stand. Stand a little bit forward. Sorry, folks. That's like live TV for you. You never know what's going to happen. There you go. I'll try not to do that again. I might have to start hanging these paints upside down like this so that oil floats up. And having a lot of goop I don't know what you call that, or just the linseed oil or whatever, poppy seed oil, whatever it's made with, is just showing up, and it's kind of on a vertical pallet like this. It just kind of runs all over the place, and that's not good. Makes more of a mess for me. Hmm. Just step back and see where I'm at. Yeah, I don't have quite that feel that I want yet, but work on it. So I'm trying to capture this backlight here, and it's getting to be a little bit of a tough one. Getting in a little trouble with this stuff here. I get the shape of the head a little bit more. How's everybody doing? Not sure anybody's watching, but if you're out there, hope you're having a good night, good evening. Trying to get this backlight going. This is where I wish I had. I'm gonna have to buy a good tube of orange. This thing is getting harder and harder to push out. And it's getting to be like cement. See? I've probably had this tube, I don't know, I've lost track of how long I've had this tube, but way too long. Way too long. Tempted to just open up some. Let's see if I can put a little bit of oil in there. All I have is solvent-free fluid. I think I have some walnut oil somewhere, but until I get a fire can, I'm not messing with the walnut oil. I heard what happened, Brian Mark Taylor, and I'm not trying to do that. Let's step back, take a look. See how much time I've been. Okay, so this has just been over an hour, so we'll wrap it up soon, get a little bit further. See where I'm at. Getting there. Getting there. Slowly but surely. This takes a little patience. So let's see here. So if you're just tuning in, I've been working on this area here because in the photo that I have, the light is popping from behind. It's a kind of, she's backlit, and so that's kind of where I'm working at. I'm trying to get to a stopping phase, and then I'll continue on. I'm going to try and come on tomorrow night. My goal is, if you're just tuning in, my goal is to try and get on every night and do some painting. That's the goal. Do some paintings, some smaller paintings, bigger paintings. And I'll probably have some of these, and I'll be selling these directly through my website. So we'll see how that goes. But I hope, if you're watching, I hope you're doing good and having a good night, good evening. I'm feeling a lot more awake than I was yesterday. Yesterday was a struggle bus. I felt like I was painting slower too, so that probably didn't help. But I think I've got an idea of where I want to go with this. Was really struggling on getting this backlight the way I want it. Just trying to pick out some areas of definition. Oh, okay, so I got finally. Hey, welcome back, John. Do you prefer working from digital or printed reference? I the answer is I digital preference. I'm gonna give you a sneak peek since I'm gonna be wrapping up here, but I'm gonna give you a sneak peek here. See if I can tilt this. So as you can see here, well maybe I won't tilt it, but yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's my TV, and as far as I used to for years have I used to have printed reference, and I prefer digital now because what I do is I'll share my. I'd be happy to share my setup. The thing is, I have an Apple TV connected. What I do is, if I need close-ups, then I'll do several different snapshots that I'll upload to an shared album, and then I can cycle through with my remote, my little trusty remote with paint all over it, and then I can cycle back and forth. The answer is yes, I do prefer digital because with printed, um, I'm not sure how do you say I consume less paper and I can quickly. I used to have to go to Walgreens all the time and try and get printed references to because you know ink is liquid gold. It's so expensive and it's so much cheaper for me to spend money on an extra TV in the studio because TVs were cheaper. Seemed to be cost effective at the time. Than to go sit there and try and print everything. I mean, not only that, but then you're talking gas and time, and it's like, hey, I can just throw it on the TV and boom, I'm done. So I hope that answers your question, John, about as far as digital printed reference, it's convenience and saving trees, saving ink, and all that other good stuff. But I'm just an artist. I don't know all the ins and outs of what the carbon footprint on making TVs are. I'm sure it's not great either. I'm sure it's not great. But, so let's see how that's going. All right, so we are at 12:20. Woo! Time has flown by. I've been jamming out to Janis Joplin, Big Brother, and the Corporation, and going through some 60s throwback. So I think I'll mock in a little bit of highlights here just to see where I'm at, just to kind of get a feel. I've got big hoop earrings I'm looking forward to putting in at the last moment. That'll be for another session. This is kind of really a tighter painting than I anticipated, to be honest with you, but I'm just going to go with the flow on this. I'm not going to sweat it, to be honest with you. I'm just going to go with the flow, and it is what it is. I'll probably try and do another one after I'm done with this, and later this week. Step back, take a look, see where I'm at. Yeah. Had a real bugger of a time getting these hands, and I think I need to backlit these hands now to kind of get them. Because the fingers are small enough that the light is going to pass through. They're going to pass through as it does in the photo slightly. So that's kind of what I'm trying to render there. But I'm not gonna mess with it too much. I'm going to stick with it. There. All right. Yeah. I think I'm going to call it quits for tonight because I've been painting for the better part of an hour and 15 minutes. I like to keep these to an hour. And I think at some point, the whole reason of doing these episodes is so that I can probably go back and run a time lapse on them and then publish them so that people who don't want to sit through my hour-long ramblings can do the shortened version. All right, let's see here. So yeah, the brush of the day was the filbert brush. Very underestimated brush because you can do thin, thick, and get some really interesting marks. And yeah, I dig that. I don't know why for so many years I did not use the filbert. I have no idea. I don't think, yeah, I just don't. I think I bought it on accident and then said, ah. And then once I tried it, I was like, oh, hey, where have you been all my life? I should have been using you a long time ago. And so I clean all my brushes. So I clean my brushes with Gamsol, straight Gamsol. I don't like to mix my Gamsol with oils or anything like that. I just do straight Gamsol, and that does the job. Let's make sure. I don't think I use this brush at all. Nope, didn't use that brush. Didn't use this brush. I have to go through because if I forget, then I've pretty much the brush is toast after a little bit. I mean, sometimes if you get oil on your brush and it's been a couple days or even a week, sometimes you can get it out, but you know, at some point, you know, you've ruined the brush. So try not to do that. So, all right. I'll see about doing a little close up. And I'm curious to see how this will look and if it goes in higher resolution. Oh, and one of the things that I do to keep my tank, I'm not a big believer in putting your paints in the freezer. I don't like the idea of putting something in the freezer that you've used petroleum-based medium on. I think it's just not a good idea. The other thing too is that I've heard from some people in the industry that the freezer affects the stability of the paint. Well, what do I know? I am not a chemist, but my cousin is, and maybe that may be a good question for him next time I go up to DC and hang out with him and his family. I will ask that question. So, all right, well, thanks for tuning in, and I wish you all a wonderful evening and happy painting. Take care.